Good day, everyone! I am Sir Robbie, and together, we will learn the word of the future, robotics. Did you know that here in Educational Technology Unit, robotics is a priority to make every Filipino learners and teachers competent and meet the demands of the future global scene? Wherein teachers, students, and parents who wanted to learn robotics is just a click away for free. Robotics is an interdisciplinary field which integrates computer science and engineering. It involves design, construction, operation, and use of robots to assist human activities. Are you ready for this transformation? Soon in ICT's Educational Technology Unit. Come and join us and love the future para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello, good afternoon to all the parents, teachers, and learners all over the Philippines watching us live through DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Tayo, DepEd Philippines Facebook pages, and DepEd TV official YouTube channel. This is Tutor Therese, and we are on the 4th week of English 4 Quarter 3. So be ready with your modules, paper, pen, pencil as we journey in the amazing world of English 4. As we go on with our tutorial this afternoon, you can also comment down below your answers for the activities in the comment section. All right? So magandang hapon sa lahat. And we have here with us Ayan Punzalan, grade 4 from Jose Rizal Tilapayong Elementary School, watching from Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. Eva, Palasinan Elementary School. Teacher niya po is si Desiree Parungao Lacro. Good afternoon po. Sheila Nagwit, good afternoon. Jesslyn Espinida. And napakarami po tayong kasama this afternoon. And I hope you will enjoy our session for the week 4 of English 4. Alright, so everybody is ready. Simulan na po natin. So this afternoon, we are actually going to talk about elements of a story. And I am Ms. Therese Marie Bidonia, and let's enjoy and discuss our experiences this afternoon, all right? So this afternoon, we are going to learn the basic elements of a story. So before we start, let's find out what are our goals for this lesson. So at the end of the module, you should be able to identify the story elements such as setting, character, and plot. Next is at the end of the module, you can use graphic organizers in filling out the elements of the story. And number 3, you have to show willingness to read and understand a story. Alright? So sa mga batang mahilig magbasa dyan, this is a very interesting lesson for this afternoon. Alright? So before that, now that we are all set with our goals, let's have a game. Alright? So our game this afternoon is you have to unscramble the letters and each number to form words that you learned in the previous module. So you have to read the descriptions as your guide. So we have here number one, our scrambled letters are here in our screen, and its description is it refers to the attitude of the author toward the subject, the reader, or the characters. It is how the writer feels about what he or she is writing. Ano kaya yung sinasabi dito sa description? What element of the story is this one? Alright, let's find out. You can comment down below your answers. Good afternoon, everyone. Eliza Lopez, grade 4 from Jose Rizal, from Tilapayong Elementary School. Marami na tayong answers sa ating comment section. We have Sid Johans de la Cruz, Rona Rebolledo. Good afternoon, everyone. So, ano kayang description or ano kayang element of story ito? Our correct answer is tone. Yeah. So yung tone, it's the attitude. It's the feeling of the author towards the subject, the reader, or the characters. So the tone, this is what you will feel as well when you are reading the short story. All right? All right. So next one, let's have the second element. Right. So the second element is the feeling that the reader gets from from reading the author's words. Ano kaya ito? It is the feeling that the reader gets from the reading the author's words. Kung yung tone, it's the feeling of the writer towards the characters, the setting, the story. Ito naman, yung number two natin, it is what the reader gets from reading the author's words. Alright? Ano kaya yung number two? What is the second element of a short story? From Kylie Aliwala's mood, Ruth Michelet, mood, Lexer Riley Javier, mood, Marina Enko. All right, everyone. So our second element is exactly its mood. It is the feeling that the reader gets from reading the author's words. Very well. Let's have the third one. We have here our scrambled letters, and its description is that it is the intent for writing something to either persuade, inform, or entertain an audience. So what could be um, described by this? What is the intent for writing something? Ano kaya ito? We have our third item or third number for our first activity, and this is the intent for writing something. It's either to persuade, inform, or entertain an audience. From Martine Angel Dave Preza, purpose. From Sid Joans de la Cruz, purpose. Ivan Melioroso, patron the third, purpose. Exactly, very well, everyone. Our third element is purpose. All right. So napakagaling ano, and we now know that you remember your lessons from the previous chapters or quarters. All right. So um, you remember well what your teachers has taught you. All right. So let's now go to our lesson. So, have you ever wondered what composes a story? 'Di ba? Madalas tayong nagbabasa ng story pag nasa school tayo. Or even sa ating mga modules, marami diyang mga stories. So, have you ever wondered what composes a story? So, indeed, there is no story without the presence of its important elements. So, study the clip art. So, tingnan natin yung clip art. We have here setting, characters, conflict, resolution, plot. So by looking at the illustration, you surely have an idea what are the important elements of a story. So let us move on to the next part of our comprehensive discussion of the lesson. So let's talk about the story elements and paano natin mapapaganda yung ating short story gamit itong mga elements na ito. Alright. So we have here the basic elements of a story. We have the setting, the character, and the plot. Yun yung basic, di ba? So, for us to be able to understand it better, let's read this story, and later we can identify the basic elements as we discuss each of them. So, basahin muna natin yung yung story, and then mamaya pag nag-discuss tayo, babalikan natin siya. Alright? So, let's read. Okay, read with tutor Ting. Today is Mother's Day, but Jenny forgot to get her mother a present. What is Jenny going to do? What can Jenny buy for her mother? She runs to her piggy bank to count her coins. Jenny only has 70 pesos. That is not enough to buy a present, said Jenny. Maybe I can make her a present, thought Jenny. She ran to the craft closet. Jenny got paper, glue, glitter, and markers. She created the most beautiful poem and card for her mother. Jenny also asked permission from her grandmother to pick flowers from the garden. Her mother said it was the best gift ever. All right. So that's our story for our discussion this afternoon. So let's remember that story when we discuss our elements. All right. And napakagandang story nito because it shows our love or Jenny's love for her mother, 'di ba? So kailangan ipakita natin yung pagmamahal natin sa ating mga ina. All right. So let's go to our first element of a short story, which is the setting. So ano nga ba yung setting? The setting talks about the place and the time that the events in the story happen, and this answers the questions when and where. Alright? So hindi always na merong dalawa nito, merong place or merong time, it's either of the two. Or sometimes also, meron ding dalawa sila nandun sa story. Alright? So, let's look at our setting for our story earlier. So, the setting of our story is, of course, Mother's Day noon, di ba? So, nag-aalala si Jenny kasi wala siyang maibigay na gift sa kanyang mother for Mother's Day. So, for the time, we can say that the setting of the story is Mother's Day. And, di ba, naalala nyo sa ating story, Jenny went to her piggy bank to count her coins. So, we can infer or masasabi natin na si Jenny ay nasa kanilang bahay, di ba? Saan natin tinatago yung ating piggy bank or yung ating alkansya, di ba? Nasa bahay. So, masasabi natin na si Jenny at ang kanyang mama ay nasa kanilang tahanan or at home. Alright, so nagets niyo ba yon? Naintindihan ba yon, everyone? I know it's very easy to find out the setting or to discover the setting in our story, di ba? Alright, so alalahanin lang that it answers the question when and where. Alright, so another example of a setting is um, nanonood ba kayo ng SpongeBob SquarePants? I know you are familiar with SpongeBob SquarePants, and the setting of that cartoon is in the Bikini Bottom. Diba? So, nasa under the sea sila, and ang tawag sa kanilang community is Bikini Bottom. Alright, so that's the setting. So, let's go now to the characters of the story. Right? So the characters are the people or animals in the story and answer to the question, who? All right? So always remember, everyone, that writers use characters to perform the actions and speak dialogue, moving the story along a plot line. So a story can have only one character and still be a complete story. So yung character, sila yung gumagalaw, sila yung nagsasalita, and sila talaga yung nagpapagalaw ng plot or ng story natin. So they are very important as the element of our story. So remember, characters can be people or animals, but also things, material things. Pwede yung, for example, sa Beauty and the Beast, yung characters doon, yung candelabra, or the clock, 'di ba? So they are material things, but since they have been personified by the director, personified meaning nagsasalita sila, gumagalaw sila, then they are called characters. On the other hand, kung yung material thing is only nakatayo lang doon, walang ginagawa, hindi nagsasalita, then we cannot consider that as a character. Alright? So remember everyone that a character, it's used by the writer to perform an action or speak a dialogue. That's how we can identify our characters. All right? So sa ating story about Jenny, sino kaya yung ating characters? Alright? So, yung characters natin, si Jenny, si mother, and si grandmother. Yun yung characters natin. Si Jenny, si mother, and si grandmother. 'Di ba? And then, one of the most popular characters in cartoon na alam kong alam nyo or kilala nyo is of course si SpongeBob, si Patrick, and si Squidward. No? So, sino ba yung paborito nyong character sa SpongeBob SquarePants? Let me know in the comments below. Alright? So, yun yung characters natin. Alright? So, that's all about characters. And now, let's go to our plot. Okay? So, the third basic element of a short story or a story is the plot. So, the plot is made up of the events that happened in the story. It consists of the beginning, the middle, and the ending. This answers the questions what and why in the story. So kung yung setting natin is when and where, yung characters natin is who, yung plot naman natin is what and why. Alright? So the plot is consists of the beginning, which gives the problem faced by the main character. So makikita natin sa beginning, sinasabi na agad kung ano yung problem faced by the main character. Next, the middle presents the actions made by the characters to solve the problem. So dito nagaganap yung mga actions ng characters para matapos yung problema nila. And the ending gives the solution to the problem, right? So that's the parts of a plot, the beginning, the middle, and the ending, all right? So these parts of the plot, they actually make the story more beautiful and more meaningful. So kung maayos yung pagkakalagay natin ng beginning, middle, and ending, our story will be more beautiful and it will tell meaningful story. Alright? So, yun yung ating plot. So, let's go back to our story about Jenny and her mother. Yung beginning is when today is Mother's Day. They established the setting, but Jenny forgot to get her mother a present. So as you can see in the beginning now, we are presented with the problem that is Jenny is encountering in the story. Right? So in the beginning, we present the problem. So yung problem ni Jenny is that she forgot to get her mother a present. And yung middle naman natin, remember, the middle part of our plot is where we present the actions that are done by our characters to solve the problem. So, our middle of the plot in our story earlier, she ran to get the craft closet. Jenny got paper, glue, glitter, and markers, and she created the most beautiful poem and card for her mother. So those were Jenny's actions to solve her problem. Right. Next is the ending, of course. So remember, the ending is where the problem is solved already. So kailan na-solve yung problem natin? Nung naging masaya yung mother. Her mother said it was the best gift ever, 'di ba? So yung problema ni Jenny na wala siyang pangregalo kay mama niya or sa kanyang nanay is now solved in our ending na naging masaya yung mother niya even though hindi siya gumastos ng malaki. Alright? So everybody, we can also give gifts to our mothers kahit hindi naman mahal or kahit hindi naman natin kailangan gumastos ng malaki or gumastos at all, we can write a poem, we can sing her a song so that we will be able to express our love for our mothers, 'di ba? All right. So very well everyone. And those are the three basic elements of a story. We have our setting, we have our characters, and we have our plot. And the plot consists of the beginning, the middle, and the ending. All right. So I know you all know very well now what are the three basic elements. So yun lang, yung setting, characters, and plot, magiging maganda yung ating story. No, we can tell a very good or beautiful story, and also knowing the setting, the characters, and the plot, it will make us understand better our story. So it will make us comprehend it much better. All right. So now that we are done with our discussion, is everybody ready for our activity? No, good afternoon, everyone. Is everybody ready? So, Ruth Michelet, ready na po. Ayan Punsalan, ready na po. Rowena Bonsol, watching from Taal Central School. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Jessere Vitog, Eureka Paulino, watching from Silanganan Elementary School. Good afternoon, everyone. And we are now ready for our first learning task. So our first learning task is you have to read the selection and do the activities below. All right? So you have to read with me our selection and then sama-sama tayong mag-answer ng ating questions or activities. All right? So ready na ang lahat? Let's read our selection. Read with Tutor Ting. All right? So at 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun came up. A friendly ladybug flew in from the left. It saw a leaf with many aphids on it and decided to have them for breakfast. But just then, a grouchy ladybug flew in from the right. It too saw the aphids and wanted them for breakfast. All right. So yun yung ating selection for this learning task 1. So, first question ni Tutor Ting. All right. What is the setting of our selection? What is the setting of our selection? Ano kaya yung setting ng selection natin this afternoon? All right. Marl and Sinares, good afternoon, everyone. We are now in learning task 1 and we are looking for the setting of our selection. Eva, good afternoon. Jesslyn Margaret Espinida. Ano kaya yung setting ng ating selection? Sheila Nagwit, setting is 5 o'clock in the morning. Sid Johans de la Cruz, 5 o'clock in the morning. Martin Angel Pereza, 5 o'clock in the morning. Very well, everyone. Our setting is at 5 o'clock in the morning, diba? All right. So now we have our setting. Let's go to our characters. Who are our characters in the story? Who are the characters in the story? Who are the characters in our story? Good afternoon, everyone. We are looking for the characters in the story. So we have already established that the setting is at 5 o'clock in the morning. How about our setting? Hello, good afternoon, Marisa Baclayon from Kidapawan City Division. Yuan Fajardo, good afternoon. So our characters in the story from Rex Ivan Basa, the ladybug. So more specifically, who are the ladybugs Who are the characters, 'di ba? Mga ladybug sila, pero may dalawa tayong ladybug. So be specific. From Anjanette Cabeliza Felipe. Yes, so our characters are the friendly ladybug and the grouchy ladybug. Very good. So we have now our setting and our characters. So our setting is at 5 o'clock in the morning, and our characters is our characters are the friendly ladybug and the grouchy ladybug. Very well. Good job, everyone. So now let's go to our task 2 for our learning task 1. Our second activity. All right. So our second activity is you have to identify or you have to select in our box what is the item, what we are describing in the item below. You have to fill in the blanks. Okay. Let's have our item number 1. The blank are the people or animals in the story. The blank are the people or animals in our story. Learning task 1, task 2 na po tayo, and we are answering the first question. The blank are the people or animals in the story. From John Paulo Lacas, characters. Marinette Layagin characters, Kylie Aliwala's characters, and of course, our first answer is characters. Very well. So number 1 is the characters are the people or animals in the story. All right. So let's have the second one. The blank talks about the place and time that the events in the story happened. The blank talks about the place and time that the events in the story happened. From Seni Escultor, setting. We have from Sid Joans de la Cruz, setting. From Eureka Paulino and Suwaira Datu Dakula, setting. Very well. So number 2 is setting. The setting talks about the place and time that the events in the story happen. All right. Let's have number 3. The blank is made up of the events that happened in the story. It consists of the beginning, the middle, and the ending. So ano kaya yung number 3? It's made up of the events that happened in the story. Number 3. From Analisa Pateres Tabanao Cortez, plot. From Andrea Zulweta. And we have from Martin Preza, plot. All right, very well, everyone. Our third item is plot. The plot is made up of the events that happened in the story, and it consists of the beginning, the middle, and the ending. All right. Number 4 na po tayo. And number 4 is the blank is a part of the story that gives the problem faced by the main character. Ano kaya yung answer ng number 4? The blank is a part of the story that gives the problem faced by the main character. Jerlene Patdo, number 4 na po tayo. Yes. From May Garcia Monterola. Yes, everyone, number 4 na po tayo. And number 4 is a blank is a part of the story that gives the problem faced by the main character. So we have here some of the answers. John Paulo Lacas, beginning. Mon Brits, beginning. Kylie Aliwalas, beginning. All right, so number 4 is, of course, the beginning. So the beginning is a part of the story that gives the problem faced by the main character. Okay, so yun yung ating answer for question number 4. And we have the last one, the question number 5, or the item number 5. The blank is a part of the story that gives solution to the problem. Okay, so ano kayang part ng plot ang that gives solution to the problem, na-solve na yung problem ng characters. Alright. So, number 5 na po tayo. From Sid Johans de la Cruz, ending. From Andy Tongyo, beginning, ending. Sorry, ending. Jennifer Francisco, ending. Marlene Usman, watching from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Good afternoon, everyone. And the answer for number 5 is, of course, the ending. So the ending is a part of the story that gives solution to the problem. Very well. So sino yung naka-perfect score sa ating task 2 or activity 2? I know marami yung naka-perfect score and we still have more tasks to do. All right? So let's go to our task 2. You have to read and understand the story, then fill out the chart that follows. Okay? So may chart tayong susundan or may chart tayong fill upan after this one. Fill outan after this one. Okay? So marami tayong stories na nabasa this afternoon and napakaganda ng mga stories natin. Right? Alright, so ready na bang magbasa lahat with Tutor Ting? All right, so let's read our selection, our story. A cat in the forest meets a bear. A wild cat cried, "I'm lost. How will I find my way home?" A bear came by. "I can help you find your way through the woods," he said. The wild cat jumped on the bear's back. The bear helped the wild cat get home. The cat invited the bear for dinner to thank him. Right. So we have here our story and we have to fill out the chart here. Okay, can you see the chart? So our first item that we need to answer are the characters. So tell me who are the characters in our story. Who are the characters in our story? Napakaganda ng story natin this afternoon about a cat in the forest meets a bear. Good afternoon, Mary Elviseras. From Ronald Josh Ronquillo, ang ating characters po ay the wild cat and the bear. From Marvy Hernandez, cat and bear. From Lexer Riley Javier, the bear and the wild cat. Yes, so our characters are a wild cat and a bear. Yes. So sa title pa lang natin, malalaman na natin na those are our characters, a wild cat and a bear. All right. So let's have the second item. We have the setting. So saan kaya yung setting ng ating story? Where is the setting of our story? Where and when? Or where is the setting of our story? So it's about a wild cat and a bear. So where is the setting? Hello, good afternoon, B-Boy Panado Aron, Martin Angel Dave Preza in the woods. All right. Jennifer Francisco, Lexer Javier, Martin Presa, Sheila Nagwit at the forest. All right. So our setting is in the forest. Very good. So sa title pa lang natin, a wild cat in the forest meets a bear. So we can know that our setting is in the forest. All right. Let's go to our problem. Ano kaya yung problem natin in our story? What is our problem? So we now know that the characters are a wild cat and a bear and they meet in the forest, and then the problem is what? What could be our problem? A wild cat is lost from Eva. Jerlene Patdo watching from Bacolor Elementary School. Lexer Javier, our problem is Wildcat is lost. Or from Ronald Ronquillo, the cat can't find her way home. All right. So our problem is the cat is lost. Very good, everyone. And the cat is lost and can't find her way home. Okay, the next one is our solution. Ano kaya yung solution ng ating sa ating story? What is the solution? So the problem was that the cat is lost. What is the solution in our problem? Our solution. The solution is the bear helped the wild cat get home. Diba? And then, in-invite pa nga ng cat yung bear to have dinner at home, uh, to give back or to thank him for his help. Diba? Alright. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so we are done with our learning task 2. And shout out po kay Ike Dominic Halwin from Talisay, from to Sir Almir and Sir Joffel of the District of the Division of Negros Occidental. Good afternoon po dyan. Hello. And we are done with our task 2, and we are now on to our learning task 3. So our learning task 3, we have to read the story and answer the questions that follow. And you can write the letter of the correct answer in your notebook. So we are now in our, I think, our last activity for this session. And maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay and pag-answer ng ating mga activities with me. Alright? So let's read our selection. The Crow and the Pitcher from Aesop's Fable. No, si Aesop is a very he's a very famous writer. So let's read our selection. One day, a thirsty crow wanted some water to drink. He looked and looked for a well. He could not find any. Then he saw a pitcher on the road. There was some water at the bottom of the pitcher. He could not reach the water. He sat down to drink. He thought and thought. He saw some small stones beside the road. He smiled and said, I know what to do. He got the stones one by one. He dropped them into the pitcher. With each stone that he dropped, the water rose a little higher. Soon, the water reached the brim or top of the pitcher. He drank all the water he wanted. Right? So, nakainom na yung ating crow. And napakaganda ng mga stories natin this afternoon, ano? And we have some questions that we need to answer. Okay? So, we have the first one here. Who is the character in the story? Who is the character in the story? Shout out po from Francisco Benitez Memorial School, Paulo Jose Castillo. From Pasita Complex 1 Elementary, Casa del Niño School System Incorporated. From Anjanette Felipe. John Paulo Lacas, our answer in the first question is, ano? A, the crow and the pitcher. B, the pitcher in the road. Or C, the thirsty crow. Our answer is letter C, the thirsty crow. Right? Remember, everyone, that our characters in the story are those those animals or people who are speaking or who are moving. All right? Let's have the second one. Where is the setting of the story? Where is the setting of the story? The setting of the story. The setting of the story is the road. Very good, everyone. So it's in the road. Okay, so if you can remember, the crow saw a pitcher on the road. Okay, number 3 is, when do you think the story happened? When do you think the story happened? Bakit thirsty yung crow? Okay? Siguro napakainit, ano, at that time. So, kailan kaya yung pinakamainit sa isang araw, sa buong araw? The answer would be what? Letter? We have afternoon, early morning, or 3. So, saan kaya? Or kailan kaya? We have afternoon, letter A. All right, so those are our items number 1, 2, 3. And let's have our question number 4. What happened to the crow? Angry, hungry, or thirsty? The answer is thirsty. All right. How did he solve his problem or the problem? He solved his problem by he dropped some stones on the pitcher with little water, and in the end, the crow was able to drink all the water that he wanted. Very good, everyone, and congratulations for finishing the 4th week of our quarter 3. And salamat po sa lahat ng sumubaybay and sa lahat ng nag-participate in answering our activity. So thank you so much for tuning in today's ETUlay session. To all the parents, teachers, and learners all over the Philippines watching us through DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Tayo, DepEd Philippines Facebook pages, and DepEd TV official YouTube channel. Thank you and salamat po. Keep tuning in and catch Tutor Mark for English 5, and see you all again for English 4. This has been Miss Therese, and thank you and God bless everyone. Thank you so much.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!